Welcome to another edition of Vantage Point. I'm super excited about this episode. This is the first time for the show. We're doing an open discussion, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. And let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of the show. If you have any questions or you want to interact, you know, especially if you live right now watching live, you want to interact with the show, I'll be in the chat. So you guys make sure you comment and I'll see them and I'll respond to you. And thank you guys for being here because you could be anywhere else but you're here. So I appreciate that. And I'm not gonna hold you too long because we got to get into it. We got a long show, but it's a good show. So let's get into the audio of the day right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With my glow.
Yeah. I stay on the move, like all the time. I gotta shine. I might leave you blind. With my glow, with my glow. I stay on the move, like all the time. I gotta shine. I might leave you blind. With my glow, with my glow. Check it out, look. Can't anybody really tell me how to move? If you're looking kinda far from the top. Bad advice turn me into my tumble. Oh yeah, I'm a beast with the block. Mindset still on point like a shank. I'm getting better every day, check the rank. I gotta keep it 100, been frank. Yeah, my faith don't swole like a tank. I run at full speed on this thing like a brother on track, straight running full flat. I spit a 16 so mean it'll make a brother wanna boy, run it back. God made your boy here unique. I eat beats like Bon Appetit. I gotta keep the flow real smooth like satin. I'm shining like the sun, what's hat? I stay on the move, like all the time. I gotta shine. I might leave you blind. With my glow, with my glow.
Hey, shadow don't kill my vibe, it's a glow right there, okay? I ain't supposed to be around you anyway. I can go get jammed up any day. It ain't worth it, and I ain't even gonna just sit here and tell y'all that I'm perfect. But it's in real life, no circus. Stop popping them elephant purses. It's time to be a ringleader. Devil ain't stopping no show. I got glow. You can check my fever. Preacher put his hand on my head, wanted me to fall back. I said not in these sneakers. I'ma fall on God only, but you should too, little homie. Cause I'm making moves. Through the night, I got glow all around like the moon.
I stay on the move, like all the time. I gotta shine. I might leave you blind. With my glow, with my glow. They glow brighter than the ice around your neck. Flesh weak, so I keep it in check. Cause back then, if you ever disrespect, I'll come through your set and offset your whole set. Your boy here had to simmer down. I was lost, but your boy been fine. Attitude on another level now. I'm feeling like a king when I'm stepping to the town. Let's go. People wanna know about the face, so I tell them gather around, ready, set, let's pray. Have me sounding like Clint Eastwood, tell it didn't go ahead, but it make my day. John James, a one case for you. Go hard just like Gorilla Glue. The glow that we had now, bruh, ain't new. And the God that we serve know it's true. I stay on the move, like all the time. I gotta shine. I might leave you blind. With my glow, with my glow. I stay on the move.
Yeah, I can't turn mine down, man.
I gotta shine.
I keep telling y'all that.
With my glow.
So y'all think y'all turn me down, I'ma turn it back around, you know what I'm saying? I got too much glow.
That was the audio of the day. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in to the show. If you want to help the show out, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Can't say it enough. Subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, tell your friends about it. Tell your mom and them. Tell your cousins, your uncles, aunties, grandmas, everybody about the show. Your church leaders, your pastor, your youth ministry. Tell everybody about the show. And if you want to help further, you can always seed into the ministry. The Cash App is below. And I think that's pretty much all I got for you guys, man. Enjoy the show. Leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe. Have a blessed day. All right. Peace.
Sonrize, music.
My step, I ordered by God, ooh-wee. I'm not afraid of what life may bring. To shine your light so I can see. I'm not afraid. My steps, I order.
Moving faster than amphetamines makes it hard to get ahead of me. I don't have the cake I want, but I have ingredients and recipe. I do not have to hunt, he gives me manna that is bread to me. Serve a God who wants what's best for me. It's him that keeps protecting me when I am being bullied by the one who's all our enemy. My mama name is Kathy, but I am a child of destiny. Not planning to walk the path that God prepared and he has destined me. I'm not who I once was, cause God has made me a much better me. I hope that I'm all gone away and God is all that's left of me. I'm curvy as the letter B. My verses need no editing, plus this white girl has the nerve to shame your grandma. I make better greens, and God made me so he indeed deserves all of the crediting. Brings curses of the enemy, full circle till he's blessing me. I can do all things because he strengthens me. I don't walk in fear of those who threaten me, cause I ain't never gotta walk alone because he steps with me.
My step, I ordered by God, ooh-wee. I'm not afraid of what life may bring. To shine your light so I can see. I'm not afraid. My steps, I order.
My faith is just a tiny seed, smaller than a sesame. It is strong, planted deep, but the world be stressing me, testing me. God, hear me, can I be your vessel, please? Can you prune away bad branches, put good fruit up in my trees? You're the reason why I'm living, you're the reason why I breathe. Hope the season's here forgiven, it's the season that I need. Riding on the edge of victory, the world has been addicted to me, but the world hated Jesus, so who cares if they not into me? The world is into different things, and nature's somewhat sickening. All the glitters isn't gold, but they love anything that's listening. I'm telling you the truth, but I know no one's really listening. Hello, are you still there? Not nobody's really listening. The world is not aware of me, but in rap lies my dexterity. And my verses are anointed, so they are a form of therapy. Nervous every time I hit the stage and they all stare at me, but God gives me the nerve to keep on being all I dare to be.
My
He's there with me.
step, I ordered by God, ooh-wee. I'm not afraid of what life may bring. To shine your light so I can see. I'm not afraid. My steps, I order.
Welcome to another edition of Vantage Point. I am your host, MC Sonrize Music, and we're doing something a little different today. My vantage point from a couple of different perspectives. We got a couple different people on the show. We're gonna do a couple different topics. kind of want to get everybody to introduce themselves. So starting with, I guess, Unnoticed.
Uh, what's good, guys? The name's Unnoticed Potential from Worcester, Mass. Christian hip hop artist. I've been doing music now for about I would want to say almost 2 years now. Been a firm believer since I was 17. I just feel like God really pressed me as this towards my calling. You know what I mean? Like feeling like Jeremiah, feeling like you just can't keep your mouth shut, and that word just burning inside.
Yeah.
I don't know. God just does amazing things, and I'm just thankful.
All right, Miss Kenya.
Hi, good evening. I'm sorry, I'm on mute. Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good, I'm good. Let's tell people about yourself a little bit.
Hi, my name is Kenya C. Wheeler of the KCW Multimedia Group. I am the owner of a 24/7 all internet gospel radio station, KRTG Radio. We also do radio servicing, radio promotion, anything in the gospel realm. We host, we MC, we just a blessing to the gospel arena. So that's who I am.
The queen of marketing in Florida, period. Mr. Table Talk.
So what's going on, everybody? Mr. Table Talk, Javon Lawrence from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm a gospel artist. I also do relationship advice on YouTube. Just really trying to build up the body through relationships, helping people understand the importance of relationship and how to maintain and keep healthy ones.
All right, and my man Brian Keith.
How are you doing? My name is Brian Keith, Palm Beach County. I actually work with Fred. I've also done some music recording myself. I still do a little bit here and there. Also own a business, do some baking here and there, and just kind of stay busy, stay on the hustle.
You gotta sell Marie's Munchies, y'all. If y'all in Florida, in South Florida,
That's right.
Look up Marie's Munchies.
Because he said bakery, I got excited.
Oh yeah, fresh to order, man. We do
Exactly.
seasonal items. It is delicious.
You gotta push it, bro. If you're gonna sell it, sell it. All right. So to get started, y'all, first thing I want to talk about is Christian artists and secular artists. Is it okay for them to collaborate, and to what extent? What do you think? Open floor. Anybody?
Open floor?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give my intake on that. I feel like it's always I feel like this is a big topic where we all reach, you know what I mean? It definitely in the music industry because coming from two different realms, you know what I mean? And also bringing the word into it. I feel like our job is, Christian hip hop artists or gospel artists in general, or anyone that's carrying the word, our main focus is to spread Christ, you know what I mean, through whatever we're doing. And it always comes for us to also examine what we're doing in the midst of it, because it says in the word, I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33, it says, evil company corrupts good habits. You might come with a good intention of saying, I'm gonna collab on this song with someone, right? But if it's easier, it's so easy for us to get swayed back towards a negative, towards that realm. Then sometimes for us to bring someone into that, I think it says in Peter where it says that it is better for us not to have known the word than to know the word and to fall away from it. Like there's so much in mixing, like in the word, it tells so many times, do not be unequally yoked, do not do this, do not do that. And so when it comes to music, you got to understand that how you're coming at it. I'm not going to collab with a person where our topic on the song is about a totally different thing. Like I've had people ask me to collab on songs and like where our music is speaking about two different things. Just because we're doing music, I'm not gonna conform to something just to have a hit record, because then the message is nullified. You know what I mean? The message is not getting across. Then all of a sudden, I'm an artist with no foundation, with no standpoint saying, hey, this is where I draw the line. I can't just be a person that says, oh, I just want to show everyone, like just the love of God, but I'm not going to show people how serious God is about his word. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's so many ways. I feel like, like you can mix with a secular artist, you could do certain things. Like I have people that are not Christian artists that have a wonderful voice singing, right? And I need them to do a hook or something. You know what I mean? That's where I feel like, okay, I could collab with someone. But if this person's whole genre of music, their whole collection of music is talking about like degrading women and selling drugs and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden he hops on my track and we're talking about the love of God, I feel like, you know what I mean? That's like in me, I feel like I'm being a hypocrite by saying, oh yeah, but no, he's talking about God this one time. So that's not how it works. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what we have to also look at in the music industry. Because I see a lot of big artists do it all the time. See a lot of big artists, they'll be like, oh, I'm collabing with, I don't know, Snoop Dogg all of a sudden. And it's like, with every song, Snoop Dogg's talking about weed and talking about this. Now all of a sudden he mentions, yeah, and God, like one of the biggest songs I see like that about God did, right? I did a remix of this song. I haven't put it out yet. Where DJ Khaled was saying, God did, but God did, right? I said these lines. I says, so many of y'all saying that God did, but do y'all even know who God is? Because we say God did, but who is your God? Because it also says in the word that, the God of this world, which is the devil, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to collab with someone just because they mention God, because what God are you speaking about?
Yeah.
Because the God that I'm speaking about, I show my fruits. You know what I mean? I show the God that I serve. So,
Anybody else got some feedback?
Yeah, kind of going off what you said. I mean, I'll preface by saying when it comes to religion, I'll start by saying I look at it as something that's personal more than anything. It's your walk with God, right? And your God, kind of like what you were saying, your God is going to essentially be your God. We can go to the same church, we can sit in the same aisle, but we just might look at it differently, perceive differently, whatever, right? So I think when it comes to being a Christian artist and maybe let's be honest, as a Christian artist, we're trying to make it, for most cases, that would be a break, would be recording with a secular artist. So I would say it's mostly situational on that. If you feel like you can kind of be in that realm to a certain extent and give that outreach, I think it could do some good. I mean, I don't see Jesus being the type of person that would really go to these big churches. I've said before, I don't think he would go to these big churches. I think he would be in these dive bars. I think he would be in these grungy places where people need to hear the word of God. So if someone's going to throw on a Cardi B track, and every track is whatever, but that one track goes, you know what? Maybe this Sunday I'll go to church. That one friend's been talking to me about going to church. This track really hit me on the ride home. I'm going to hit him up. I'm going to go to church Sunday. And maybe that could just be that gateway. I think it's situational. You could do that one thing that really changes someone's life. At the same time, you could be putting yourself down a very dark road and dealing with things that you necessarily can't deal with,
Yeah, exactly. Anybody else?
I think that as believers, and you gotta please forgive me because I come from the industry aspect, and I'm a believer. However, when you're a believer in Christ, and I believe that if you believe in that Jesus died for us, I believe that you can collaborate with anyone that has the same belief, because that's why we're believers. I believe that I can collaborate with anybody, because what happens is I want you to see me for who I am. I want you to be able to see me on this Zoom, and I want you to see Jesus in me. So the Jesus in me, when I start to be able to sing my song or sing my hook, then I'm gonna be able to deliver you. And then after you're going home and you're saying, you know what, this song is a hot song. And as it resonates in your system, there's change in you. So a lot of times we're the beacon, and like he said, we have to be the beacon and the light to be able to reach amongst the men, amongst the dirty, amongst the ones that's down in the trenches, and say, let me collaborate with you. Yeah. Do you know that most gospel rap artists, that's where they come from, the trenches. And then they come into the church and bring the same music, except change the words. They use the same beats. They come into the church, change the words, and guess what? And those are the ones that are really making up the CHH division of everything that's going on, because they have been through something. They have been through, I used to smoke weed, I used to do this, and I used to do this. So they have a testimony. A song ain't nothing but a long testimony.
Yeah.
If your song ain't a testimony for me, I don't want to hear your song. If you sing about something that ain't gonna bless me, it's not a song. You know, quartet is a long testimony. So I think that a lot of times we as believers, we kick the people down that wants to collaborate with us because we're looking at their outer self instead of their inner man to say, you know what, I'm gonna sing a song with him. And you know, by the end of this, I'm gonna touch and agree that I'm gonna bless him and he's gonna be inspired by me to one day walk this life. Now he may not leave the world completely because they like their money.
Yeah.
But he may be able to say, you know what, the God in you, the Jesus in you, bless the Jesus in me, and now we gonna make it.
Amen.
I yield my mic.
Amen. You want to touch on that, bro?
Okay. I'm gonna piggyback off of everybody a little bit. I think it was Brian who used Jesus as an example, and Miss what's your last name again? I'm sorry.
Brian Keith?
No, Miss Kenya.
Kenya
I
Wheeler.
feel comfortable saying that.
Miss Kenya
But,
Wheeler.
You can call me Kenya. You can call me Kenya. I ain't that old. Come on now. I just turned 48 now. I just turned 48.
Okay. So we use Jesus as an example, and it was said that Jesus is in everyone. Jesus don't cherry pick who he's in. A lot of times us as believers, we like to say, because you do this or you do that, they don't have the opportunity to be able to become saved or take Jesus seriously, however we want to say it. But I'm going to finish this with this question. When Jesus came, who did Jesus come for? Did he come for the church or did he come for the sinners? Then I'm going to say, who was it that crucified him? Was it the sinners or was it the church?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have our priorities backwards because we're trying to keep the people, and and this has been happening for a long time. And they like to say organized religion or something like that, where they're trying to keep certain things in a certain pocket, but Jesus wasn't in that pocket. Jesus was in a whole nother pocket, because it's not about us. It's about us trying to get people to where we are, building healthy relationships. And the only way we can build healthy relationships is if we be that example through loving kindness. But a lot of times we miss out on the loving kindness because we're too busy trying to show this is the standard we need to be in. You need to be like us, where that is true. But the only way they're going to see it is if we get in the midst of it. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, next question. How do you guys feel about cancel culture? Like, do you agree with being able to cancel somebody?
Man, listen. Can I start on this?
Good.
Growing up, it used to be a lot of things that was said. A lot of things that we didn't agree with, but everyone still had the opportunity to say how they felt. Where now, if we say, it's a lot of words, and I won't get into the word, but there was a lot of words we could say that we would just be ribbing, ranking, just having fun. But you have to be careful now as to what you're saying. And do I like cancel culture? No, because anytime someone says something that you don't agree with or that don't go with a group of people, now it's like, okay, we gotta shut them off. And the messed up thing about cancel culture is that it's breaking relationships. This is what I mean. If I'm trying to cancel anything that anyone is doing, I'm taking out of your family's mouth. I'm taking from your business. I'm taking from those who are around you, which is going to cause stress to your circle, to your family, to whoever's around you. So I'm not only affecting one person, I'm affecting a community because you don't agree with you don't agree with what I'm saying. And if you don't agree with it, here's my thing. Don't
What
listen.
happened, baby?
Yeah.
Just don't listen. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, you don't. You can make the choice to turn to something else. But now we're in this, like you said, cancel culture where, okay, I'll feel better if I can mess up your livelihood. That's not right at all.
Yeah. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
I'm the
Yeah,
queen of
I'll-
getting
I'll-
canceled. I'm the queen of getting canceled. Y'all know that. I just, because my platform is keeping it real in the gospel, and I say what I want to say, but I said,
Yeah.
well, I don't know how I say it. I say it, but I don't say it disrespectful to them, to me. So I'm the queen of, I be canceled all the time. So I don't agree with it, but hey, you know what? I've learned to move with the punches. Because again, I get canceled probably every month because my platform is keeping it real in the gospel. I host 2 shows, Keeping It Real in the Gospel and Hot Topics Pop-Up Show. So hey, I get canceled monthly. You know that. They put me out of stuff. They put me out of stuff all the time. So I don't agree with it. No.
I think my biggest thing with that is like Table Talk said, the fact that they can take everybody else's livelihood away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing with Cosby, when they canceled Cosby, they canceled everybody that was involved with that show, but then they wanted to picket the guy that ended up working at a grocery store because like you canceled him. You did that to him. So that's the messed up thing about it. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, I think it's somewhat of a cause and effect, honestly. I think the cause is, unfortunately, not to get on a more broader topic, but I don't think people generally nowadays are taught how to cope.
Yeah.
So if you have a hard time, I don't think a lot of people are really taught, like, okay, this is what you need to do to get through it, right? So a lot of people are having either safe spaces, right? No one's, we have these safe spaces. We're gonna get canceled now. Let's have fun. Everyone's told to go to their safe space and be okay over in their safe space. Well, what happens when you leave your safe space, right? So now someone's gotten you mad, someone's gotten you upset, someone's gotten you triggered. The effect is now you have social media and you have people going, this person got me mad because of this. I found this information. They said this. Take it however you will. That gets blasted over social media, and now you have a hashtag cancel Sonrize. Right, whatever now. You know what I'm saying? Just because you have a whole train of people who got on this hype. Someone made a TikTok, and the TikTok got 1 million views now.
Yeah.
With the hashtag, you know what I mean? So I think it's more of a cause and effect of people not knowing how to deal with tough times or whatever that triggers you or stresses you out. And now you have social media, and you can go out there and blast it.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
Exactly. All right. So if nobody got anything else, we're gonna get into a video real quick, and we'll be right back with Vantage Point.
Just different.
2 World Records. They call me a rookie, I'm new in Christ. Jesus, he already paid the price. Now that you know what I'm speaking on, I can continue to lift them up. Cause I'm out here still new to this. In that eating mode, still true to this. I got that hunger, no wonder I keep coming back with the heat on my back. And I stay looking forward, the goal in the distance, the prize in the sky. Put my hands together, pray for my city, that more people will become rookies and cry. So talk till I die. Work till I can't when they say I won't. But he's got the plan, the church saying don't. You know I will, Smith in the mill. Y'all can just chill, cause he paid the bill, yeah. That's mercy, he paid our price while thirsty. Carried that cross all dirty, did it all in the middle of his 30s. Every day I wake up and I'm brand new. Fresh kicks, t-shirts, and soul too. Did he hear lifestyle? It's so true. Live to love, that's all you, man. That's easy. I'm up on a new level, staying breezy, like the flag on the new era. Where's the healing at, the revival at, the ones of Christ living brand new. Preaching down to me or thinking less of me, don't matter, nobody feels worse than me. I will ride, I will learn to discern all this world has to throw at me. Like go left or go right when I know it is right and the choice right in front of me, yeah. I am the rookie LaMelo Ball, I am the rookie LaMelo Ball. Rise in the morning and give it all, I am the rookie LaMelo Ball, I am the rookie LaMelo Ball. I am the rookie LaMelo Ball. Rise in the morning and give it all. I am the rookie LaMelo Ball. I am the rookie LaMelo Ball. Rise in the morning and give it all. I am the rookie LaMelo Ball. I am the rookie LaMelo Ball. Rise in the morning and give it all. I am the rookie
St.
LaMelo
Patrick,
Ball.
rookie of the year, school of hard knocks. We ain't never playing hooky up in here. Devil looking, but the Holy Spirit got me. I ain't never getting bullied up in here. I am the rookie LaMelo Ball. Christ with me and I'm better off. About to set it off. Told me lay aside every weight and then don't take the pressure off. Got a testimony, I'ma tell it all. God'll lift me up if I ever fall. Christ rose and I preach that. Constantly ticking the devil off. Y'all don't even know how to act now. Holy Ghost all on the track when I rap now. Enemy attacking, my team never back down. Gotta feel that like a pat down. Had to open up the book of Matthew. Got the word on me like a tattoo. Kids in the hood that been carrying poles. Tell them they ain't got a hold still like a statue. I'ma let you know that your life got value. They be trying to make the loud and the lean look good, but that's how they trap you. No, they can't stand you, but it don't matter. I plan to still breathe light like a lamp do. My people die on the daily. It's like the world getting more crazy. Never giving in, so you cannot sway me. Never betraying the savior who saved me. So glad that he changed me. Can't let the weight that I carry outweigh me. The more you be trying to shine, the more they act shady. If they wanna hate, let them hate me.
I am that rookie LaMelo Ball. I am that rookie LaMelo Ball. Rise in the morning and give it all. I am that rookie LaMelo Ball. I am that rookie LaMelo Ball. I am that rookie LaMelo Ball. Rise in the morning and give it all. I am that rookie LaMelo Ball. I am that. I am that. I am that rookie LaMelo Ball. Rise in the morning and give it all. I am that rookie LaMelo Ball. I am that. I am that. I am that rookie LaMelo Ball. Rise in the morning and give it all. I am the rookie LaMelo Ball. Waking up every day brand new in Jesus. Amen.
Back once again with Vantage Point. So my next question is, where do you guys stand on traditional marriages, like as far as the roles of the house? Like some people say the woman's supposed to stay home and cook and this and that, and the man's supposed to work all day, or the money's supposed to be separated, things like that. How you feel about it?
That's in trouble.
I'm just saying. Everybody quiet. Everybody quiet on that one.
All right. This Mr. Table Talk. Let's go.
Just make sure your wife's not in the room.
I think, I mean, literally, she's not. But I think now we have to adapt with the times. And today's time, there really isn't roles because it's supposed to be a partnership, not one person doing more than another. And I think that's the problem when please forgive me, but don't. Back before, a lot of the weight of the household was on the woman, where it was acceptable for a man just to go to work and that was it. Mm-hmm. But women now are not in the house anymore. Women are out there making moves. They're being breadwinners. Some women are better breadwinners than men. Mm-hmm. But in a sense, if we gonna get real, women have to be breadwinners now because of the man. Because men are not around. They're not sticking around. They're not being responsible. They are not being reliable. They're just doing whatever they need to do. And then when a woman, I'm going all off topic. See, this is what I do. And then when a woman finds a man that, you know, that she's compatible with, you can't just expect her to go back into the old routine of, okay, I'm going to cook and clean while you go out and work. No, it don't work like that, because she done got into this, and I ain't gonna say to this routine to this new way of living where, okay, let's take what you have, let's take what I have, put it together, and let's make this work together as a team. So it's not a democracy no more, it's more of a partnership. But, you know, that's again, that's just me. But like the joint accounts and stuff like that, me and my wife, we don't have a joint account, but I'm not hiding any money that I have. Like my wife knows, you know, what I got in the bank, how much I make. You know, it's not really a you got yours, I got mine. Like if you need something, I got you. If I need something, but you have to ask. Women, again, it's not your fault, but I guess men have to be put in a position again where we're able to be asked for help. And women have to get comfortable again being able to ask for help. But when you've been doing it for so long on your own, it's just like, hey, I'll just do it. You ain't got to worry. It'll get done. And when both sides got it'll get done mentality, it kind of becomes a tug of war kind of. But I mean, but we ain't got joint accounts, and we doing just fine because we have that communication where if you need something, I need something, we could come and ask without any fears or anything like that.
The key word there was communication.
Let me piggyback.
Yep.
Oh, listen, as the only woman on this platform, let me piggyback. I am married. My husband had to get used to who I was because I travel a lot, and I'm going into some rooms where I'm sitting with John P. Key over here and this person over here. We going into rooms where security's whispering me in to things, and he wasn't used to that. Now, my husband has an OCD narcissism of cleaning up. So I don't cook, clean, and all that stuff because that's what he do. You know, I clean up and he clean up behind me. I'm like, well, I just did it. Well, it's not that you didn't do it right. And then from previous relationships, I have a thing where I won't ask a man for anything because I don't want them to throw it up in my face. So when you're a strong woman, I'm just going to say a strong woman, no matter what color you are, when you're a strong woman, you will get out here and get it. You'll work 2 jobs. You'll have a side hustle. I'm an Amazon affiliate. I'm an Apple affiliate. I'm a branding ambassador. You're going to make sure you have 7 streams of income. So you don't have to hear that when you go to that man and say, hey, can I have $100? And then 10 days down, I just gave you. And it, you know, so women nowadays are being built on the respect of, let me get out here and get this so I don't have to ask you. I always tell my husband, he give me money every Friday is there. He put it in the bank and a whole other bank. And I always tell him that that's a plus. Anything you give me is a plus. I pay my bills, but whatever you give me is a plus. So I don't rely. And I think men have made it that way where we're women or are getting out here hustling hard. So whatever you give us, we don't have, because it's not promised nowadays. What happened if something happens to him, you know, Lord forbid, what am I going to do because I'm relying on this man to take care of me? And then I'm lost. I'm lost. I've watched people leave this world and they're like, what am I going to do now? My husband is gone. How am I going to pay these bills? So I can pay these bills. I just want to be able to go out there and, you know, just buy me a new pair of shoes every week. But I can still, you know, make it. I can't wear these $100, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, we ain't got to do all that in these 20s. This is not the grandmom and granddaddy era.
Right, that part. That part.
Can I be very confrontational right now? Just because, and not confrontational in a negative way, right? But let's be honest about like culture nowadays, right? And let's be honest just about like with everything going on, and in terms to like what a role as a man is and what a role as a woman is, right? I feel like nowadays, right? I'll be honest, from even my generation, right? I feel like one of the attack of the enemies is, right, for us not to know who we even are as men or women, right? We got men that are being feminized, right? Men that don't even carry the roles really now of men, and women that want to transfer into that man-like character where now they're like, oh, I'm a boss, I'm this, that's really what the culture has become, right? Because the devil really doesn't want us to know who we are, doesn't want us to know our roles we carry, or what it is to really be a man, or what it really is to be a woman, or what it really is to play a role in the marriage the right way. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a woman, you know, carrying that boss mentality or having degrees or being able to succumb income, right? But it's where all of a sudden where it's like, oh, I don't need him for that. Or I don't need, like, I heard a sermon and it hit me deep. I think it was like a TD Jakes sermon or something like that, where it was saying, you know, like, do you even give a man a reason to be a man anymore? Because when he says, what a man was used to in my dad's days or my grandfather's days, I want to supply for you. I want to protect you. I want to provide for you, right? Because that makes me feel like, you know, I'm doing something for you. I'm the man. I'm taking care. But nowadays, even if I show that, it's looked at as, I don't need that. I got this. Where a man now starts to feel empty, where he feels empty that, okay, what do I do to do my job in this marriage? Because this is what I was taught, but now this is not right because culture changed. So now I can't play my role that I'm used to playing or that I was taught to play. So now I have to adjust to, now it's okay. I could just, you know, fade off. You know, like, and it confuses me, definitely. I'm newly married. I just got married to my beautiful wife laying down right here back in May. You know what I mean?
Shout out. Good shout out.
Shout out. She's sick right now, but shout out. You know what I mean? Where a lot of things are new. You know what I mean? And we work to play our roles, right? Where it's not like she doesn't lean on me like, oh baby, like she's asking me every second, I need $100, I need this. Where we both have a skill set. My wife's a chef, and she's a very intelligent woman, right? But we also play to, you know, to in a marriage to uplift each other in our roles, and not try to say, oh, you know, well, you know, you're the man, so you have to do this, or you're the woman, so you have to clean the house, right? I feel like when we convert it nowadays in the culture, where it's like people don't even know who they are. We have an identity crisis nowadays, and we could be honest about that. We have a big identity crisis in the world where people don't even know who they are or what role to play. And I feel like nowadays we have that where it's like you want a woman to be a man, and you want a man who is feminized, where now he's he's acting like a woman. And I'm not saying that to be vulgar, but I'm being honest. If we are being honest in the situation, because we like nowadays, men don't even know how to play a role. Women, a lot of women nowadays think it's just, you know, even like the boss like mentality of women that aren't even relying on a real skill set. Like back in my mom and dad's age, where women actually knew how to cook. How many women know how to do that nowadays? I'm saying my generation. I'm 27. I have sisters that are like 24, and my sister barely know how to cook cereal. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
That's rough.
I'll cook, so I don't know.
No, exactly. That's the generation. But I'm saying most women nowadays, or most men nowadays, it's a culture change where now their mindset has been conformed to this world, because this is what the world is bringing nowadays, where we're not having a foundation of knowing who we are. And that's where we're very on that borderline edge where it's like, okay, yeah, we could say, okay, yeah, that's cool that she has a skill set. That's cool that she has this, but don't let her overplay that role where it's now you're telling a man, like, I don't need you because I got this. It's more than the material things in a marriage. It's more than what I can bring. You know what I mean? There's so much more. And I feel like nowadays people really don't know what a marriage is. People really don't know how to play their roles.
Could it be survival? Could it be survival? Because we watched out. Because let me just say this. I love a good conversation. We can move to my platform if we want, so we can keep it. Here it is.
Talk to me.
So the survival is that I watched my parents struggle. That when I'm 48, and I watched my parents that when my dad got laid off, they would buy a chicken, and my daddy get the breast, my mama get the leg, you know, and I get the wing, and we had to survive. And as you're growing up, you're saying, you know, when I get older, I don't want to have to go through any of this. So then when you're like Christmas time and you're like, well, this is what we can do in the struggle. So as a woman, my family always made sure I went to school. So when I got 18 years old, same thing I did to my daughter, I became a notary because that was a stream of income. So I want to make sure that I always had a stream of income. I've been a strong woman from a young person. Watching, yes, my mother and father own their own property, but it was the struggle. So I think a lot of times parents didn't let their children understand the struggle they went through. Absolutely. But my parents let me see it and made me understand it, so that when I'm out here in this world, I'm not hard, but I'm the type of woman that's like, listen, sweetie, if you get laid off your job, we're not going to sit here, hold each other and cry together. I'm gonna say, all right, baby, listen here. I got a couple of these degrees over here on this table over here, and we're gonna use some of this stuff. I'm gonna put this flyer back out here that I'm a notary. I'm gonna do this and that. If you get hurt, and this is the thing that I watched my older siblings when their husbands got hurt or they got laid off, they were trying to figure it out of coming back home and staying back home with us, because I'm the youngest and my oldest is 62. They're coming back home to mama because, hey, we don't know what to do. You lost a job. But I watched them do this, and I said it'll never happen to me. So now you're seeing these women up on billboards that watch their parents struggle, that watch their parents go through and understand that there's going to come a time that you have to go, we can't live by the way grandma did. We have to be strong. Now, as far as that, the not knowing who you are, correct, I don't cook, I'm sorry. And my husband, we understand that. I don't cook. You know why? Because I'm in the studio more than anything. and I'm doing interviews and I'm doing shows and I'm traveling and I'm doing this. So that was the understanding before marriage. Like he knew I wasn't going to be Betty Crocker. He know that he knew I was gonna, we ain't gonna be. I listen, baby. I'm not Betty Crocker. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna go out here and get it to take the burden off your back, so that guess what? If you need me, I'm here. But at the same time, he's a man that works a whole 40-hour job. He drive a concrete truck. He don't need me, to do anything. But again, this is survival mode for most women, especially when you're in that age bracket that you watch your parents struggle. But a lot of the younger people, my daughter don't know the struggles that I may have had to go through to take care of her. For her to be 8 years old and have an iPhone 14, she don't know about it. If I miss the payment, or if I'm doing a payment arrangement. So what's happening is we're pulling the wool over our children's eyes and head, and they're thinking that their mama was rich. My nephew said something to me one day. He said, I didn't know how poor I was until I got my family. Because the children didn't know, because we worked hard to mask it.
Mm-hmm.
So now that he's in his 20s, he's like, I was poor. I didn't even realize he was poor. So that's why so many women are basically manning up and becoming realtors and brokers and having Turo and all the stuff that we're out here doing. Not that we want to take the place, but baby, listen, the best thing in the world, I told my husband, he has a truck, he don't want to buy a new one. I say, listen, you can drive that truck around all you want. I'm getting you a new truck sooner or later. I'm able to do that for him. You know what I mean? That's my husband. So it's not that, it's just that we are living in a world of, we're scared. We're living in that world, and it's not like you, because you love your wife who's sick on the couch and you right there. You love her. I love my husband, but anything can happen. We have to be ready for the day tomorrow and the future. So that's the mindset that a lot of strong women are in. Yes, I have 7 different companies. Not bragging, but I'm just saying I got 7 different companies. So during the pandemic, when one fell off, I was right here notarizing all this stuff that they was doing electronically. So I made more money sitting to the computer than I did the years before. So I think it's the struggle made us do this. Not that we don't know our role as women. I think that the struggle of what we went through in the 70s and 80s and 90s made us come strong and hard the way we are. That's why you have so many strong women like that.
And I want to address real quick why women feel like they don't need men. Because if we're going to get into the confrontational drama of this, a lot of times women feel like they don't need men because, and for a lot of women, it's a valid point for them. Because you said it earlier, men don't know who they are. And when men get into these relationships, 9 times out of 10, what is men thinking about in these relationships? I'm going to get with her so I can have sex. So this ain't a real relationship. This is what you can do for me. Then after I get done with her, now I'm going to move on to the next one. And if you keep getting these same dudes, it's not like you're looking for them. They could be out there really looking for love. But a guy is out there thinking about one thing only and you know, the players, we got plenty of movies about them. Like you were saying earlier, you got these songs with these rappers. That's all they rapping about and singing about. It's the culture. That is the culture. So the culture has warped these women into thinking, okay, if that's what you got, if this is what you have to offer, that's not what I want. But it takes upstanding, men like yourself to be like, okay, that's not how we are. But the sad case scenario is it's more of them than it is of us.
Yeah. So let's say exactly what you were saying, culture-wise, right?
Yeah.
Culture-wise, nowadays also says, right, is for a woman, right? Get your bag. Get what you can off him, right? We're speaking culture-wise, right? That's what's promoted. Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. It's like, yo, use them for what you can. You know what I mean? So where it's like that, that's what I mean by it's a both role playing. And I don't discredit a woman in any way for having a skill set. I applaud you in every way. But when would you actually tell a man, yo, I don't need you? What confidence does that give a man to feel like, yo, nothing I can do to satisfy you? It's like if I told a woman, hey, I don't need what you have, it automatically puts someone down where it's like, do I even fight? What do I show?
See, but you gotta understand,
that's not a woman.
Confidence. That's not confidence. That's not confidence. That's hurt. That is hurt speaking, I don't need you, because of the hurt that I'm dealing with in the past. It's not confidence. that's hurt. And if it is confidence, like Miss Kenya said, then that's just not a woman. But
it's
I
not
can't
a woman, baby. A real woman, they know. A real woman know that this is a powerful fist. If you put it together, me and my husband together is a powerful team. He may not know what I know. He may walk in rooms and he act shy because again, I travel amongst artists. But guess what? We're a powerful team together. This is it. This is a powerful team. Anytime you're in a marriage and you're like this, that's separated. That's not equally yoked, like you said earlier. But when you're like this, a real woman will never tell a man, I don't need you. I do need a man. Because guess what? That light bulb I need. I'm just joking. But anyway, I do need a man.
But this is what
but just say I do need a man. I need my husband because guess what? As a woman, as hard as I am, there's times that I need him to love me, to comfort me, to be able to say, honey, I want to cry together. So any woman that can open up their mouth and part their lips and say, I don't need you. Now, do I need my husband financially? No, but I appreciate the love offer he give me every Friday morning. But the thing about it is here it is. You do need a man because again, I need him. There's some times that I go to work and I come home and I have a bad day. I just want to lay a pie in his chest and say, you know what? And he just play in my head and he ain't romantic. He just tapped my head like this and said,
"Oh my God!"
So he don't. I'm like, well, no, you gonna pet me like a puppy? So
right.
you need that. You need those conversations where someone that you can have those conversations with. So any woman that can walk around and say, I don't need no man. Those are not women. Those are little girls,
and that's
they don't know the understanding of it. And that's what you have to, as a man, they have to know to stay away from those. You know a real woman when you see one by her conversation.
And that's where I was comparing it to, because I'm going off of you guys' generation, right? That's women that, like I said, my mom and dad's generation, my uncles, stuff like that. My generation, sadly as it is, that's their mentality. Both
and they're struggling, right? And they're struggling, right?
Yeah, of course.
Struggling. And that's why they're struggling, because of ignorance. Ignorance is allowing them to struggle through life because that's the attitude they have, thinking that they're working now they're working at these jobs that's giving you $13 an hour. And they're thinking because they just do have side hustles and they're selling soaps and candles, that's all there's always going to be a rainy day. But whatever you do, there's going to be a rainy day. So the thing about it is, and I tell my brothers, I say, listen, a real woman, I'll let you know, I need you. Like I be telling my brother, can you come change the shower head? Because I need you, because I can't put both of the wrenches up there to change it. So we're going to need you, and we do need you the same way you need us. You're going to need a woman. I mean, I don't need a woman. Yes, there is the softness of a woman that you're going to need. There's going to be times that you may have to go home and lay on the couch and cry. She has to cradle you just like anything else. The Bible says already that you're supposed to forsake all others for your wife. I marry people. I get that money too. I marry people, and I always repeat
I get that money too.
I get that money too. So when I repeat that over and over again, forsaking all others for each other. So I'm never going to say I need my husband. And if he try to leave me, I told him I got to see me in the backyard, and we just going to be looking for him because I love my husband and I need him. So if a woman is walking around saying that, or a man, always remember, they're not women. They're still immature. They're still not old enough to understand it. And the love that you guys, that popcorn love y'all have in this generation, that y'all can get over people in a day, I don't know what that is that y'all got going on. Because I ain't never, I had popcorn love too when I was in my 20s, but today, I love my husband. I love my husband. I told him every day, I said, I love you. I watch NCIS every day. I watch Crime Scene every day. I love you. I love you. I be watching these stories. Yeah, that's the warning. Say, why is it semen in a wheelbarrow and a shovel in the backyard? Because I love you.
See, but real quick, I wanna bring up something that that was said about our generation. Like, even I'm on my third marriage right now, and it was because I was going off of past generations, and not everybody's story is the same, but past generations, my granddaddy was unfaithful. my granddaddy had different family. My granddaddy would be gone for weeks at a time with his other family. But the difference then and now is my grandma took it. She took that abuse. That was mental abuse, where your husband gone and you know he's gone, and you know he got about five, bless you, he got about 5 or 6 other kids. And then when they come over, she has to accept them in and treat them like they're her own. That's mental abuse. And this, and like I said, this abuse men have been doing to women has been over years. I grew up with just a single mom. Why? Because when my mom got pregnant, my dad said he didn't want me, abort me.
Yeah.
Women, and I said this earlier, and I'm an advocate for women because I've done women wrong. And I'm pretty sure everybody on here can say that there was a point where you didn't understand relationships, you didn't understand what you were doing, and you were just had selfish moments and you broke some female heart. Not everyone on here, but you get what I'm saying. Every man on here. We've done it. And that's another thing. And we expect women to just be like, I just roll with the punches, suck it up, deal with it. You can, because we've seen the grandmas do it, but everybody on here said it. We're in a whole different generation now, where women don't know how, or women are tired of handling their bottling up their emotions, and the younger folks just don't even know how to. Like it's not even a thing. Well, we was talking about cancel culture earlier because we don't know how to. We can't take stuff. We don't have thick skin anymore. I know. I absolutely don't. But we expect people to take their abuse and do it with a smile. That's not realistic. And we could throw every Bible verse out there. We could throw but in reality, in a perfect world, and the Bible verses that we throw out are the encouraging ones, but there are Bible verses that show that women have went through this stuff, but there was someone there to help them. Like it's too many stories, but this stuff is not new, but we just expect people to just sit and take it and say God's going to make everything okay. No, God don't manipulate people's choices. God don't influence people's wills. It has to be a choice as to what people allow to happen to them. And unfortunately, we've allowed, and I mean just everybody, we've allowed so much damage to happen to us from what we've seen growing up, what we've done to other people, what we do, what's been done to us, that it's just hard to maintain. The problem with society, including the church, I'm gonna say it and I don't care. We don't know how to maintain healthy relationships. We don't even know what healthy relationships look like. That's why I literally switched my whole niche from Bible to relationship, because what people don't really understand is the Bible is relationships. God is relationships. But we're so focused on me getting to heaven. Okay, if you get to heaven and you're the only one there, then what?
Yeah.
It's about relationships. God created Adam. He created Eve for relationships. It shouldn't be good for man to live alone. So I'm going to give you a partner. A lot of people will say, help me. A lot of people will say, help me, but that means rib partner. She's a part of you, partner. I don't care what you say. But I'm talking too much. I can go. I can go. I'm passionate about this because we use certain things to keep people in a box where they're in bondage more than they are free in these relationships. And we're calling it godly. And it's not. God did not create you to suffer. But a lot of people out here suffering in relationships. Okay, I'm done.
I know. I think Keith, you're the only one here that's not married. So, what's your take on this?
Well, yeah, my girl just went upstairs, so I'm good. I mean, I think kind of piggybacking off of everything you guys said, times have changed. I mean, it used to be that generally a guy would have to go out. A lot of it was manual labor. You'd go work a lumber yard. You'd go work at a plant or a factory. You'd do this and that. And I mean, not to get into this topic, but men and women tend to be built differently. So a lot of manual labor fell on the men. Even at home, I mean, if you go and look at someone who does their own yard, it's not the woman outside cutting the grass. It's usually the man doing the lawn work, doing the more of the maintenance, I mean, let's just be real. You're right. I mean, how many you guys are married? How many of your wives ask, like you were saying earlier, you did a shower head change, right? You go ask your husband. But I think a lot of that's changed in the workforce in that you have work from home culture, right? You can sit at a desk and work a 9-to-5 job and get 18, 20 bucks an hour sitting from home, not really doing much but sitting on your butt, you know? So I think a lot of it's shifted.
Say that to them though.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I don't want to say gender roles have switched. I think a lot of the weight of responsibility has shifted from the home and workplace to the different gender roles, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it. Because yeah, I mean, my girlfriend right now makes more an hour than I do and works about the same amount of hours. If it came down to it, we've talked about it. If we have kids, there's a good chance I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad. She makes more money. It just makes more economic sense. In today's economy, if she's making more money, yeah, I'm going to lean on that.
And I respect you for that because ain't nothing wrong with it.
I actually was a stay-at-home dad for a little while myself, bro. So I know that.
Ain't nothing
In
wrong
today's
with
economy, that's how I feel. In today's economy, you got to make it work. All right. If you say whatever you want, me and my girl are good. All right. If we got to do what we can to make money.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's how I feel about that. I mean,
I think overall, like y'all said, it's about teamwork and it's about communication. You have to have 100% communication in a relationship in order for it to work at all. But that's a good conversation. So we're gonna get into another video real quick, and we'll be right back with Vantage Point.
Hey, yeah. Whoa, 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 yeah. Hallelujah. Hey. Let's get it. Crime. Let's get it.
Because your love, I'm standing here living today. Today, yeah. You gave your life for me despite my wicked ways. Yeah. I'm so grateful you never disowned me. Made a promise you won't leave me lonely. Fill me up when my spirit was hungry. Told me I was your child. I'm so grateful you never disowned me. Made a promise you won't leave me lonely. Fill me up when my spirit was hungry. Take a look at me now. Yeah. Take a look at my past. I was so broken, you lifted me up, put me back in focus. It was your love that shattered the blood. You examined my heart. I knew I was chosen. You took all my pieces, you put them together. You pluck out the scent on my flesh like some feathers. I fall to my knees when I'm in your presence. Say he all in my ear, I ain't selling. Yeah, putting my flesh in the backseat. Jesus driving so fast like a track meet. Destination is heaven, you know where you going. I know where I'm going, you know where you going. Repent for your sins, give it all up. Come as you are, he loved us enough. Neglected by many, I didn't have much. But Jesus, he came, all I felt was a touch. He hung on that cross, he hung on that tree. He did it for you, he did it for me. Holy ground, free from bondage, you see. The Father took the keys from hell, believe. He hung on that cross, he hung on that tree. He did it for you, he did it for me. Holy ground, free from bondage, you see. The Father took the keys from hell, believe. Let's get it. Because your love, I'm standing here living today. Today, yeah. You gave your life for me despite my wicked ways. Yeah. I'm so grateful you never disowned me. Made a promise you won't leave me lonely. Fill me up when my spirit was hungry. Told me I was your child. I'm so grateful you never disowned me. Made a promise you won't leave me lonely. Fill me up when my spirit was hungry. Take a look at me now.
Only your love the reason I'm still standing. Grace sufficient enough to cover the damage. Should have been dead and gone from the way I was living. Really, death is the price for my sins committed. You picked me up when I was feeling down, wanting to kill myself when nobody was round. Satan whispered loud like you should end it out. And I picked up my 9 and put it to my mind. I'm talking peace of mind, guess it wasn't the time. Finger jammed and I praise you forever. Grateful, Lord knows I've been called for nothing but great and still standing 10 toes on this word is faithful. To live is Christ, but to die is gain. You could could choose life or you could choose pain. Me, I chose change over stand the same. I studied long, don't study wrong. Look, I stumbled back when I was young. Now I stumble kneeling at his throne. Now I'm reaping from the seeds I'm sown. I'm living out the dreams he's shown. Kingdom business, righteous living, gotta get it. Ain't no limit to the one who's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think. Holy Spirit, he live within me, benefiting from heaven riches. Gotta praise him, his love of me. Don't deserve it, I'm too ungrateful.
Because your love, I'm standing here living today. Today, yeah. You gave your life for me despite my wicked ways. Yeah. I'm so grateful you never disowned me. Made a promise you won't leave me lonely. Fill me up when my spirit was hungry. Told me I was your child. I'm so grateful you never disowned me. Made a promise you won't leave me lonely. Fill me up when my spirit was hungry. Take a look at me now.
Lord, thank you, King Jesus.
Back once again with Vantage Point. So my last question, because we running along here. My last question: how do you guys feel about trans shows in churches and in schools? I'm trying to get canceled today.
I'm gonna have to hear a little bit about this.
I ain't getting canceled with you.
I ain't hear about this one, so I'm gonna go last on that.
You never heard of that?
Wow.
Not in the question.
Yeah,
not in churches.
Yeah, they have them in churches now. Churches are accepting them, and it's having the whole dance party and everything in the churches with transgender dancers in the church and stuff like that, twerking in the church. There's a lot of stuff going on.
See, man, I'm confrontational. So let me just light the fire right now.
Get him.
You know what I'm saying? Let me just set the match, right?
Get him.
I'm gonna be honest, right? I feel like we're in the time, like it speaks so deeply about it in the Bible, like about what the end times are gonna be like Sodom and Gomorrah, but worse. It talks about like so many things are gonna be gonna be okay, where evil is gonna be good and good is gonna become evil. And I feel like this is just a time where we really become so attentive to what the word says, because none of us are ignorant of what the word says, and we see that this is the time that is coming, right? And obviously, like, I feel like this is where you see the real believers, or the ones who, like, even like I was saying before, in Christian hip hop culture, where you'll have people conform to what it is to just make a name for themselves, or just what's okay with it. But God's word is the word that stands. It says that even if everything else fades away, God's word is what stands. So it doesn't matter what people okay. Oh, this is okay, then I'm gonna okay, but that's not what God would okay. Like it's such a deep topic, because I'll say this: my daughter went through something, like, even in school, you know what I mean? Where, like, I think about when we went to school, we didn't have to worry about, like, if someone wanted to go in a different bathroom or something like that. And I got my daughter coming to me like, "Yeah, Dad, he says he feels like he's a girl today," and I'm like, "So do I feel like I'm a squirrel today?" Like, that's what we go through. Like what I feel like, you know what I mean? And I'm being so honest. Like what we were saying earlier, that like we've become so softened up, like cancel culture, everything. Our opinions are like, we're not even giving our own opinions anymore. Like your opinion overrides mine, because if I say this might hurt your feelings. So I automatically gotta conform to what you say because it might hurt your feelings.
That's a fact.
And that's not fair. And that's why some of the generation that's growing up is so soft. It's so soft right now, where we barely have like real soldiers fighting, because we're just like, nah, I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want to hurt their feelings. No, it's like in a church, like one thing I've learned of all is God hates sin. God hates sin no matter what it is. We try to make it an individualized thing. Oh, God, oh, you're telling me God hates gays, or God hates this, or God hates sin. I don't care if you told a lie. If you told this is what God's word says. He hates sin. but we like to individualize it and make it just about us, because again, we're this is a generation where it's like, oh, it's all about me and you're hating me. No, God, I'm going to tell you what the word says. I'm not going to go around it. I'm not going to okay it because this is what's going to be acceptable for you. And I feel like this is where you see who's really going to stand up for the word and who's just going to be like, I just want everyone to realize God is love, but God is more than just love. God judges sin. God has mercy and is graceful, but sin is what separates us from God. And if we continue to dwell in that and continue to just like, oh yeah, it's okay, like no, God is serious about his word. And I won't be the one, like me, as where I stand on my faith in Christ and where I stand, I will not be the one to conform and say, okay, well, this is okay because everyone else is doing it. Everyone could be jumping off a cliff. I'm not going to join them just because everyone's doing it, just because it's okay.
Hey, Coach, let me in. Let me in, Coach. Let me in.
Tag, you're in.
I agree with everything you said. I just want to point out a few things that you said that to try to amplify what you said. So I'm gonna talk Bible, then I'm gonna talk reality. We talked about sin. Sin is to miss the mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have we ever asked what's that mark?
Mm.
Like we just like, okay, sin means to miss the mark. What? Sin is to miss the mark on relationships with people. Where you said sin is, we look at the manifestation of sin. We look at the fornication. We look at the adultery. We look at the everything that we consider sin, the lewdness, the sex. We look at the manifestation of it, but it's coming from something else. It's coming from messed up relationships. So if I'm fornicating, I'm messing up a relationship with myself and the other person, and that person with God and myself with God. It's about missing the mark on relationships, with treating people decently. Now, reality with the church, the reason why this is so easy to come into the church, because we haven't mastered the art of relationships. The church is not together. If it was, it wouldn't be 12 churches on one block. Over exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're too busy fighting each other rather than building each other and helping each other. We're in the same building fighting each other. Who's going to be closer to the pastor? Who's the number one person? Who got the best choir? Who got the best pastor? Where is God? Where is his word? We're worried about the wrong things, and because we're worried about the wrong things, it's easy for twerking to come into the church. It's easy for all these manifestation of sin to pop up because we're not together as a unit. You can't see 5 people who are believers come on the platform. And maybe I missed something. Can somebody explain this to me? Did we have one argument on here? That's not normal. That is not. A lot of people say, well, why? The biggest thing that people will say, why they don't go to church is, why am I going to go to church? Y'all can't even, y'all can't get together. Y'all can't get it right. I'd rather be out on the street where I know what I'm about to get. Y'all say y'all love me. Y'all say y'all for me. Then you stab me in the back. Why am I going to come to? Where is God in that? And it's a true statement. But if we can get together, if we can have conversations like this and not get in our chest, not feel like we're not being heard, not feel like, whatever the case may be, maybe then we'll be able to fight off some of these manifestations of sin that, like you said, God don't like. God don't like that we can't get along. That's what God don't like. God don't like that we say that. Even the Bible says this: how can you say you love God and you can't love the person that's right in front of you? Mm-hmm. And love, and I'm not talking about a feeling. I'm not talking about, oh, I feel like no, I'm talking about making the choice to support someone. That is love. That is agape love. And it's not I don't want to say it's not hard, but to make a choice to support someone is the best thing you can do for them, because you're not doing it when you feel like it. Because if I'm going to love you off of feeling, I'm not going to love you all the time, because sometimes I'm going to feel like not loving you. It's not based off of feelings. It's based off of actions of support. And it all goes into relationships and support. That's why earlier I was saying that the Bible is relationships. Faith is relationships. It's about having the proper understanding of who God is and how he wants us to relate and treat and support one another. Until we get that, this manifestation of sin is just going to keep popping up, and it's not going to go nowhere. And like you said, we're in the end times. Will it get better? According to the Bible, no.
Yeah.
It's not going to get better. But that don't mean we have to give up doing the decent thing. That don't mean we have to give up doing what's right, which again, I will press this to the day I die. Treat one another right. That's the key.
Yeah. I honestly do believe we in the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah right now, honestly. But y'all got anything else?
Yeah, I'll throw my 2 cents in. I mean, the whole transgender thing really is kind of its own topic in and of itself. I mean, if you look at, people tend to try and throw out the slippery slope kind of argument. The bar really has been moved, in my opinion. I mean, we used to call it body dysmorphia. Now we're not allowed to say that. You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. You don't say that anymore, right? Now that person identifies as this. They don't have this, whatever you want to diagnose it as, right? So we moved the bar. Regarding the church, I want to go back to what I said before. I mean, I think if you can open yourself up, and hear me out. You can open yourself up and invite someone who, let's say, is trans, or even a drag queen. Let's have a 6'5" dude with a beard come in a sequins dress and peacock feathers coming out of his head, sit in the front row. Why not? Why not?
Why not?
If you can reach that person, that's one person being reached. Okay. At the same time, yes, you are there to spread a light, but is that darkness coming into your light?
Yeah.
So it is also it's a balance. I mean, do you want this person coming in? And for me, at the end of the day, church is there for fellowship and worship. When it strays from that, that's when it, in my opinion, that's when it becomes a topic of discussion, if you want to say at the very least, if not a problem. Because I mean, let's be honest, there's no place for twerking in church. I'll stay on it.
It's different between sitting in the audience and actually being on stage in front of everybody, putting on
very true.
You know what I'm
correct.
saying?
And in that case, that person has taken away that worship and that fellowship aspect of church and made it a spectacle.
Exactly.
Which, going back to what I said before, that's why my Jesus would be at a dive bar. That's a
should have been rebuked. The church done got soft, because the church I come from, if you even rock hard, they're gonna come and sit you down. The church mothers.
Yeah.
You can't even chew gum in our church, so working. Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
No.
Exactly.
See, but even with me growing up, there were gay choir directors. It's been. Oh, can I say that? Oh, yeah.
Let's just keep it real. They're the ones that pay the tithes.
True. So I mean, and again, this ain't nothing. It's not new, but like you said earlier, because it's been accepted for so long. It's a difference between, like you said, them being in the audience and them being up front. But I really hate to say this, but I saw it for so long. It was normal, but I can't say this. Even back then, though, it wasn't so flamboyant.
Yeah.
Was it so? Their whole mentality back then was, okay, I don't want everybody in my business, but now everywhere you turn, it's almost like, what's the opposite of acceptance culture?
Yeah.
Where their culture is, you have to take me for who I am, and we don't care. We're forcing it now.
Yeah.
But if we force anything, it's canceled. But if they force anything, it's acceptance.
But see, the the beginning of that process is normalizing it, and it's a long game. You know what I'm saying? For the longest time, like you said, they normalized it. They normalized it, and then that's when they hit you with all this other stuff. And it's like if you don't accept it, cancel. So it all incorporates together.
Right.
You know,
like you said, it's a long game.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually said I actually have friends of mine who are trans, have gone through transitions, whatever. Well, I'm still friends with them. I don't know why I wouldn't be. I actually knew them when they were transitioning. I know them now as who they are. Great people, honestly. I had them over at my house the other day. Yeah, no, it's to me, it's one of those things where, kind of going back to the whole communication thing. Like if you're willing to talk and meet people where they are, we've talked, we've disagreed about things. But at the end of the day, we still find things that we come together, and we don't have to agree on everything. It goes back to what I said before about the whole triggering thing. Not everything has to kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think, yeah, there's a lot to unpack that, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is a tough conversation.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one. We can go on for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, I got family members that are that like the same sex. One of them raised me. That didn't affect me.
Yeah.
Like, but I love him to death because but again, back then their mentality was way different. It wasn't like he was flaunting it. It's not like he told me. It wasn't like, it was like he was like, this is how I am and you have to accept me. No, it was as I got older, 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, and even then I be like, hey, why are you? That is still my cousin who I treat like my father because he raised me. Like I said, when my dad wasn't around, I treat him no different. But a lot of times because you're this way, I'm going to treat you. But we said this earlier, sin is sin. Jesus said, ye without sin, cast the first stone. I know I've messed up some relationships. I know I'm not perfect. I know I've did a lot. But just because I didn't do that, don't mean that I'm still, if it wasn't for the choice that I made to stop doing it, that's the only thing that makes me different from them. We fail to forget that. We fail to forget that could be us in a different situation though. Sin is sin. It's not like, oh, because, and I think somebody said it earlier, just because I did this don't mean that yours is worse than mine. There's no such thing as yours is worse than mine, except abomination of God's name. But I mean, sin is sin. So when we got people that's coming in that's backstabbing, that's causing rifts in between, breaking up relationships, you're no better than what you're pointing your finger at. But we don't want to talk about that part. We're doing more damage because I expect it from someone who we claim don't know no better, but for the ones that we say know better, that hurts a little bit worse. Especially when it comes from a leader. If it comes from a leader or from someone who isn't a leader, but that that has been in the body for a long time. My question would be, what's the difference? Except they're telling you that, hey, I don't have the same beliefs as you do, but it hurts worse when someone say I have the same belief and you do the same thing that someone who, and even people who don't have the, yeah, it's so many different ways we could go with this, like for real.
So we're gonna wrap up with this, but I want, if you guys got anything that you want to talk about before we get out of here, because we can go on all night with all this discussion, but is there anything you guys want to talk about before you get out? Anything you want to promote, anything like that? Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
New song dropping. I'm just letting y'all know. New song called Wasted Time. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot to do with just nowadays, we have a lot of time wasted, a lot of time that we spend in just nonsense, and it was something that you know, I felt like God was just really wanting me to vent upon. The song comes out on the 23rd of October, all streaming platforms. If anyone wants to look up anything that God has really projected in my life, you can look it up on any platform. Unnoticed Potential. We got a music video coming with the song as well, you know, and we're just continuing, like I said, to. I feel like nowadays, like, music is like modern day preaching. Sometimes people don't see the Jesus in the like people don't get to pick up a Bible, right? But sometimes people, the only way that people can see Jesus is through you and through what you project. And so that's why I take it so serious, you know. Like, part of my testimony is I was locked up at an early age. I was locked up at 17, and that's where Christ really came in and changed me. I thought my calling was to be a preacher, a pastor. It was something that he was really molding in me in that time, and he turned it into an art, you know. And so that's why, with that change that he brought in me, you know, like, when you have that fire burning in you, you just want to change. You want to help people see that love. You want to help people see that light. And, you know, that's what music has really been to me. So if you guys ever want to check anything out, Unnoticed Potential on everything. Thank you.
Make sure you send that over so we can get that on the show too.
Yeah, I got you.
Anything else, guys?
Yeah, check out Marie's Munchies on Instagram. Maries Munchees. We do deliveries. Give us a couple days and we'll deliver it to you. Fresh baked goods, delicious. I actually have to go bake some right now.
Yeah.
Is those munchies like regular munchies? Are they munchies?
Yeah, we get that question a lot. There's nothing special about them. We just put love.
Okay.
That's the only special ingredient. Just a whole pound of love goes in each batch.
You have to ask. The Bible say ask.
We get questioned that a lot. We do. Trust me. I've had to tell a lot of people, no, there's nothing special about them.
The name makes me think I'm asleep good. That's what. That's what
you're gonna be up all night.
You know, munchies.
Sugar's gonna keep you going. I'm telling you.
Okay, so your munchies keep me up, and the other munchies will make me take a nap. Okay, I got you.
Mr. Table Talk. You can catch me on Mr. Table Talk in the Relationship Academy on YouTube. Talk about nothing but building healthy relationships, you know, talk about the red flags in relationships, talk about how to build trust. We're just talking about what needs to be talked about in relationships, because a lot of people are just not talking about it.
Yep. Miss Kenya?
Y'all save me for last because I'm hard. I'm just joking. Listen, I am Miss Kenya, the CEO. I am one host, two shows, Keeping It Real in the Gospel, and Hot Topics pop-up show. I also own a 24/7 internet, all gospel radio stations. So Unnoticed Potential, get your music over to me so that we can get it on our station and play it each and every day. Also, you can find me on all social media outlets under Miss Kenya, the CEO, on YouTube, Keeping It Real in the Gospel, and Hot Topics pop-up show. And I would like to invite you guys in February. We're hosting our 13th annual Black History Concert and Awards. Maybe Munchies can come and be a vendor because he has nothing but love in everybody. Amen.
All right. So with that being said, everybody, this has been another edition of Vantage Point. Thank you all for being a part of the show. This has been really cool. I'm definitely gonna keep doing this. We locked down for the rest of the season, but definitely want to get this going next season for a couple of episodes. So I appreciate y'all being the trial edition of the episode. And right,
Mikey.
Exactly. So everybody be safe, enjoy your night, and God bless. See you guys next time.
God bless. See you.